Hello, adventurers. I'm Zed with ZX's Gaming. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV tips, tricks, and how-tos. And today we are going to go through the process of opening up Glamour, making your armor look like something else. Because do you really want to go through the game wearing that? Not really. Okay, so what do you need in order to do this? You just need to be level 15 to start this quest. Head on out to Western Thandalin. Go to Horizon. And then head west over here to Vesper Bay. Or if you've got one of the Vesper Bay tickets that port you over here directly, come on over here and talk to this lady. She is the same lady, by the way, that we talked to be able to open up the dying process. All right, and this is the quest you're looking for. If I had a glamour. Oh dear, 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 this will never do. My sense of aesthetics simply won't allow it. How can you go out dressed like that? My dear, if only you'd spare a thought for style and coordination. I hope your garb holds up during a scuffle, because there's little else going for it. Brutal. That's it. I've made up my mind. From this day forth, I'll take it upon myself to save you from any more fashion disasters. Let me see. So much that needs to be addressed. Where to ever begin? Where to even begin? Be a dear and get me a drink. I'm feeling rather parched, and this matter is best discussed over a glass of something cold. Just go to the Pissed PST. I didn't even realize that was the name of the place. And ask for Folklind. I have some blood orange juice. Ew. I'll have some blood orange juice and tell her to make sure there's no pulp in it. Now off you go. Yuck. All right. Oh, Swergheim sent you, did she? That woman. Never known anyone so lazy. Would it kill her to come and get it herself? Here you are. You shouldn't let her push you around, you know. Give her an ilm and she'll take a malm. Yeah, well, I certainly don't want this orange juice bloody stuff, whatever it is. Here you go. So how's that drink coming along? Oh, delicious. Nothing better on a hot day. Some say I have expensive taste, but life's too short to settle for second best. Of course, this extends to my choice of wardrobe, too. Really? That's an expensive wardrobe? It doesn't look like an expensive wardrobe to me. Now that I'm feeling refreshed, shall we get started? Do you know, dear, you look a lot less drab if you knew how to apply glamours. What's a glamour, you ask? Well, they use a glamour prism as a catalyst to project the image of one item onto another. It's just an illusion, mind you, but very convincing. This means the original object stays essentially the same. It just takes on a new appearance, that's all. Remember, if you fancy a change, you don't have to stick with the same glamour. Just apply one on top, or use a glamour dispeller to return the object to normal. Why sacrifice style for such humdum trifles such as durability or protection from bodily harm? Limitless possibilities for self-expression are just a couple of glamours away. Go ahead, give it a try. And do make it quick, dear, for my sake. I'm finding your uninspired attire more and more offensive with each passing moment. Ouch. Alright, so we get a free hat. We get the ability to cast glamour. And the ability to use glamour plates. Glamour is now available. Glamour dressers in the inn rooms are now available. You may use dressers to transform items into glamours and create ensembles for quick and easy use. And here's the little help menu on them. And it just tells you, that there's a menu item for this. And there are glamour dressers. Okay. So we're going to make a little pause here, and we'll pick back up. I'm going to go pick up some more glamour prisms, and we're going to go to an inn, and we're going to go use a glamour dresser. See you there. All right, we're back. We are in the inn, and we have grabbed up some extra glamour prisms and some some extra gear to use as our test for glamoring. So basically, there is two ways to glamour. First one is you can glamour gear that you're wearing individually by right-clicking on it and then hit Cast Glamour. And then what you do is on on the right side of the screen, these are your different inventories. So like this is your own personal inventory, this is your retainer's inventory, this is your glamour dresser, this is your armoire. So if we were going to do something from our own inventory, we would choose it here, and then it would ask us, do you want to change the appearance of the item you're wearing into whatever the other item is? And you would hit Cast. Then there's another way to do this, and that is, you'll notice you have two basic storage units here. The armoire is unlimited storage. Let's hit remove an item so you can see the items in it. And basically what this stores is stuff that like comes from holidays, or stuff that comes from like when you when you buy the more expensive version of each expansion that gives you all the goodies, those kind of things. And you can tell if you mouse over an item, if you look over to the right, you see the tooltip. On the upper right-hand corner, there's three little pictures. And the one at the far right is armoire. If that is lit up, the item can be stored in the armoire. So typically you would store it in the armoire first, because the armoire has, like I said, has unlimited storage. If you can't put it in the armoire, then you put it in the glamour dresser. So we'll go through doing that here. So we click on the glamour dresser. It pulls up items in your current inventory that you can store. So we're going to store these. What I did was I went and purchased the level 1 racial gear, because for the racial gear looks pretty good, and I kind of use that as a super low level MOG, as as a way to get around the fact that the low level gear just, well, it looks pretty atrocious. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to store each piece. Say yes, I want to store it. And now we're going to make this into an outfit. We're going to say edit glamour plate. And we're going to add each individual piece here. And then we're also going to dye this. So we're going to dye this. I got some green dye. We're going to dye this. Okay. So now when I hit save, it's going to use two of the dyes in my inventory to permanently dye this color. Yes. And it's going to give me the help menu for this. Okay. So now there's two things I can do. first thing I can do is I can apply this to my current set of gear, which is what I'm going to do. Okay. So this is our appearance now. Let's see if I can turn that off. There we go. So that's what we look like. Looks a lot more put together than the mishmash of garbage they give you. And the nice thing is the racial gear is level 1. You can only glamour a lower piece onto a higher piece. You can't glamour a higher piece onto a lower piece. That's basically, you know, so that you... I don't know why they do that, with the exception of you can kind of, you know, make the case of saying, well, if you at least have the higher piece, you've earned it, right? Instead of getting it some other way. So there's one other stage to this. If you go into your, let's see, you go into your gear set list, you can permanently link a gear set. Oh, let's save this first of all. You can permanently link a gear set to a particular glamour plate. So under, if you right click on Archer here, you say link to glamour plate. We're going to link to glamour plate 1. Hit link gear set. So now what this does is every time you switch gear sets, so let's say I switched to Rogue, then I switched back, it checks to see if any of the gear needs to be re-glamored, and then it will automatically do it as long as you're in a city. At low levels, this usually isn't too much of a big deal, but at higher levels, you may end up sharing gear between multiple classes. And this basically allows you to share that gear, but then have multiple looks. You know, a look for each different class. Because otherwise what would happen is you would glamour the gear for one class and then have to go in and individually re-glamour each piece when you switch to your other class. So I just typically leave it linked in here. And then the only thing that you need to do is anytime you change your gear or change the appearance, you have to make sure to update it so that it, you know, it saves over. So there you go. There is the basics of how to use glamour plates and make yourself at least, you know, look passable even at a low level. So I hope you enjoyed the video today. Please do all the things like subscribe, leave a comment, and I try to get back to the comments as quickly as I can. And otherwise, have a great day.